Hi, I'm Ty, and I'm on a mission to grow as much as I can here at PDX Garden Home, a half-acre urban garden in Portland, Oregon, Zone 8B. I pursue this goal to donate harvest to food pantries and just for the love of gardening. Come along, let me show you what I've been up to this week.
Well, there's a break in the rain, so I'm out here getting it done.
It's winter, it's cold, and this week I'm focused on getting some flower seeds planted.
Well, pansies are one of my favorite early flowers in the garden. They're known for their distinctive face-like flowers that come in a wide variety of colors and patterns, different sizes. They're known for their hardiness and their ability to thrive in cool weather, which makes them a popular choice for planting in the fall or early spring garden. I plant them in the early spring garden. One of the most distinctive features of pansies is their large, flat flowers, which can be 2 to 3 inches across. The flowers have a central face-like pattern, which is made up of a darker, contrasting color in the center of the petals. Pansies come in a wide variety of colors: purples, yellows, reds, blues, and whites. Some are bicolor. Pansies have a great ability to tolerate cooler temperatures and even a frost. They're often planted in the fall and will continue to bloom throughout the winter, making them a popular choice for winter gardens and landscapes. They also can tolerate a light frost, which makes them a great choice for early spring before the last frost has passed. I probably should have planted them earlier than I do now. Keep every year thinking I should plant them before now, and if I had, maybe I would get earlier blooms. But now we're at the end of January. I'm planting them with the seeds, so hopefully we will definitely, if same as prior years, get blooms probably in the March-April timeframe. Where you put pansies in the garden can be beds and borders, as well as hanging baskets, window boxes. I've done all of those things, and yeah, I kind of plug them in wherever I find space. They're pretty versatile. Pansies are believed to have originated in Europe and Asia, and they're a hybrid plant that was created by crossing two other species of viola, the Viola tricolor, known as the wild pansy, and the Viola lutea, also known as the yellow pansy. The hybridization likely occurred naturally in the wild, is what people think, and they resulted in this pansy hybrid coming out of the Viola genus. Pansies were popular in the Victoria era, and many different varieties have been developed since then with all kinds of striking colors. Well, violas and pansies are closely related plants, and they're often confused with one another. Both are members of the genus Viola, and they have many similarities in terms of growth habit, flower color, and shape. They also have similar cultural requirements. However, there are differences between the two. One of the main differences between violas and pansies is their size. Violas are generally smaller than pansies. With smaller flowers, they're typically 1 inch or less in diameter. They also have smaller leaves than the pansy. Another difference between the two is the shape of the flowers. Pansies have large, flat flowers with a face-like pattern in the center, while viola flowers are smaller and more rounded with a slightly different pattern. It's said that viola flowers are also more fragrant than pansies. I can't say that I've noticed that difference, but I'm going to pay more attention this season. Pansies do tend to be more cold tolerant, and they can handle a frost better than a viola. Violas like milder temperatures, and they're often planted in the spring and summer, and they're typically considered a cool season annual. In terms of care, I treat them similarly. The pansies and the violas, they're both relatively low maintenance, and they're pretty easy to grow. They require well-drained soil, regular watering, and they prefer cool temperatures, and they do well in some partial shade. One of the workhorses for me in terms of early flowers is the Viola Johnny Jump Up. Also known as hardies or wild pansies, are a type of wildflower that are native to Europe, including some of the British Isles. They are believed to have been brought to North America by early European settlers, and they have since naturalized here and can be found throughout much of our continent. The origin of the name Johnny Jump Up is uncertain, at least to me, but it's thought to have come from the way flowers seem to jump up from the ground. Johnny Jump Up violas are known for their small, brightly colored flowers that bloom in shades of blue, purple, yellow, and white. They're also known for that small size, low growing habit, as well as hardiness and the ability to self-seed and spread easily. The Johnny Jump Up is a popular wildflower in gardens, used in rock gardens and as ground cover and as border edging, and also sometimes in pots. They bloom early in the spring, and they're great companion plants for tulips and daffodils, which is what I do with them, and they return year after year if they're allowed to reseed. So I usually have a bunch of these in my garden. King Henry violas have larger flowers than Johnny Jump Ups, which tend to have smaller, more delicate flowers. The King Henry violas also have a more upright growth habit and are typically taller than the Johnny Jump Ups, which have a more spreading or mounding growth habit. Another difference is that King Henry violas have flowers that are typically more brightly colored than Johnny Jump Ups. They're known for their vibrant colors and their large size of their flowers, which can reach up to 2 inches across. They're also known for their ability to withstand heat and humidity better than Johnny Jump Ups, which are considered to be more fragile. This is going to be my first year growing the King Henry violas, so we'll see how it goes. Cool Summer Breeze violas is a cultivar of the species Viola cornuta, which is a different species than the King Henry or the Johnny Jump Up.
Cool Summer Breeze Violas will also be a new flower for me this year.
Lobelia, man, I love this flower. It's been hit and miss my success with it. I've had it kind of spill over, or the seeds fall into the path and then kind of grow wild there, and it was just beautiful. I've grown kind of more of a dark blue purplish version of this, as well as this light Cambridge blue. But yeah, it's one of my faves.
Saplagosis is something I've grown year after year. It's sometimes called the lipstick plant. It's a tropical perennial that's known for its unique trumpet-shaped flowers. The flowers are typically red, orange, or yellow. They're cut, and they have a waxy texture that gives them what I think looks like a metallic appearance. The flowers are arranged on tall stems, and they can reach up to 2 inches long, the flowers that is, and they can be about 1 inch wide. They're also known for their distinctive floral shape, which is often compared to a tube of lipstick, which is why they're sometimes called the lipstick plant. Last year, I grew kind of 2 to 3 times as many as I'm growing this year because I just went crazy with it. I've scaled back, but I'm definitely growing it again this year. These plants are native to Central and South America, and they're typically grown as house plants in many temperate climates. That being said, I grow my Saplagosis outdoors because I don't really do house plants. They're not super hardy, and so they're not as suited for outdoor cultivation, but I just grow them as an annual, and in the heat of the summer, they do fine here. I've had them be quite the show. I think they're kind of similar for me to petunias. Apparently in California and Florida, they are grown outdoors as perennial plants, but again, I grow them as an annual. Well, you may know dahlias are commonly grown from tubers or cuttings. It's possible to start them from seeds, though, and I do both. But the workhorse dahlias throughout my garden, where I have a lot, is from seeds. I grow a lot of dahlias from seeds in prior years and again this year. Dahlias are native to Mexico, Central America, and Colombia, so they naturally prefer warmer weather and longer days. However, they can adapt to a wide variety of climates, and they've been pretty successful here in my garden. Make sure you read the packets carefully of the seeds and see if they could do well in your area. Dahlias need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight a day, so you have to choose a spot in your garden that gets plenty of sun, and they also will often require staking or support as they grow taller. Be sure to prepare for that ahead of time. That's been the problem for me, is in my first couple of years of growing dahlias, the first year I just didn't know, and then the second year I just got lazy, and I still had a bunch of dahlias falling over because I didn't have the stakes set up for them. So dahlias are beautiful in the garden, but you want to be prepared to prop them up, stake them up, so they're not just falling over everywhere in the garden. Salvia, commonly known as a sage, is a large group of plants that includes both annual and perennial varieties. Many species of salvia are popular garden plants known for their showy flowers and attractive foliage. I've grown varieties of blue and red salvia in my borders. Salvia flowers can be found in many colors like red, pink, purple, blue, white, yellow, and even orange. I've seen many varieties that I would love to grow, but I haven't been able to locate the seeds for all of the ones that I like yet. Additionally, salvia are known to be very attractive to bees, butterflies, and other pollinators, so it is a staple in my garden. Well, verbena is a popular flower that is known for its long-lasting blooms and vibrant colors. It's often used in garden borders and sometimes as ground cover even. Verbena is a herbaceous perennial plant. It produces clusters of small, brightly colored flowers on tall spikes. The flowers can be purple, pink, red, white, or some combination of colors, and they're often arranged in a fan shape. I've actually only grown the purple type. The leaves are usually green, and they're in a fanned out shape, and they're arranged opposite of each other along the stem. Some species of verbena can grow to be several feet tall, which is what I grow, but others are compact and suitable as ground covers. I've never seen those before, grown them myself. The flowers of verbena are very attractive to butterflies and bees, so it makes it another great addition for pollinators.